Okay. Wait, William, before we start it. So, yeah. Um, how many? Okay. So, hi, everyone. Welcome to the PD trial program for the strategic plan presentation. So, today we have William, positioning in backend developer, and he will deliver his strategic planning presentation, yeah, for today. So, yeah, let's call William. The time is yours, William.
Okay, thank you everyone. Before I start, I would like to say thank you for coming to my presentation. And today I'm going to present my planning presentation for an API that is gonna interface with Toolkit. What is Toolkit and what exactly is this API? We will talk about it later in my presentation. So before we start, I would like to give you a background about have to know about what Toolkit is first, right? Before we move on. So Toolkit is like a management system that is used by BV to manage all of their reservations and properties, right? Because Bukit Vista markets their property in multiple platforms, and checking each and every one of these properties in those individual platforms is going to be a hassle. So um, they monitor every property that is in multiple platforms with Toolkit basically. And another background story is Bukit Vista has BB Go that is used by its clients, right? By its property owners. And BB Go is supposed to make life easier for these property owners, right? Yeah, they developed an app so these owners won't have to learn how to use Toolkit or whatever. They are not supposed to even know, ideally, about the existence of Toolkit, right? All they have to know is there is BV Go, an app where I can manage all of my property from, right? But however, this is currently not the case. BV Go currently does not have a calendar blocking system yet. So these property owners, there are some things that they cannot do from the app. They still need to manually block in dates for booking and reservation through the Toolkit app itself. So this is of course inconvenient and ineffective, right? Owners would ideally have to learn only how to use BVGo, right? It should be a one-stop solution. And this API system is going to be the first step in realizing exactly that. It's going to help provide a feature where BVGo can be used to communicate with Toolkit and block in calendars, right? And so, what is the general plan of this presentation? First, I am going to determine the scope of the problem that I'm going to solve because this is a big problem, of course, and I can't do it in one go. I'm going to chop it up into smaller pieces and I'm going to explicitly state what the scope of this project is. And second, I'm gonna investigate Toolkit's API, right? If we want to interface with Toolkit's API, then there is gonna be some work that needs to be done. We need to know how exactly Toolkit's API work. We need to know how these calendars events are booked and deleted and updated and whatnot. And third is create an interface. Obviously, I would need to code a backend system for realizing, for communicating with Toolkit's API. So let's move on to the problem scope. And this is where our favorite um, indicator comes in, right? We would have to determine our OKR first, which is objective and key results. So, what is the objective of this project? The objective is to create an intermediate API that is going to allow BVGo and Toolkit to communicate with each other. And the key results is that I'm going to deliver an API that is able to get calendar events, and it's gonna be able to create new bookings or events, and it's gonna be able to delete bookings and events. And what is out of scope, right? What are the things that I'm not gonna touch? I'm not gonna touch the front end system or the user interface of the system. I'm just gonna create a backend API, and that's it, right? I need to do things in 3 days. So being too ambitious and touching front end stuff is not ideal. And the second thing is that calendar features that are outside the range of bookings and events, right? Token has many other features in their calendar, like making notes and whatnot, and those things are out of scope, right? I'm not trying to fully simulate Toolkit's calendar. I'm just going to provide a proof of concept that, in fact, interfacing with Toolkit's calendar is feasible, right? You can actually make, create, and delete events, but I'm not gonna make a whole API that is gonna replicate Toolkit's calendar. That's what I'm trying to say. And with the problem scope, then I'm gonna share the result of my investigation of Toolkit's API. This is my observation basically, and this is done. I did this yesterday, and today I'm just gonna deliver you what I have found yesterday. So this is the investigation results, right? I managed to get a lot of endpoints, and this is the result of opening token, sending requests, opening dev tools, and seeing the network and stuff like that. And these are basically the endpoints that I managed to extract. And today I'm gonna focus on events that are related to calendar, which is these endpoints right here, right? If I have enough time, then I might add these rental endpoints and guess, but this is a secondary objective, right? My primary objective is to make sure that at least these endpoints get implemented in my end in my end project. And this is another issue that I need to talk about, which is all endpoints need authorization, right? Of course, Toolkit would have to know what user is currently sending the request, right? There are many accounts, and each account would have their own token. And this is where a design decision needs to be made, right? We either we need to authorize users based on their username and password to BB Node. And by using the system in a Toolkit's auth service in BB Node, then we can create a token that is gonna identify the user for Toolkit basically. And if a user makes 10 requests, then a bad design decision would be to make 10 auth requests, right? We need to request 10 tokens for each request, and this is a bad design decision, I think. And we're gonna have to solve this somehow. Maybe we can implement caching, or maybe we can store the token in the user app, but I don't know. Maybe we can talk about this later. And this is the general overview of the endpoints that I'm gonna create, right? I'm gonna talk about the get methods first. And this is just a general overview, right? And at the end of this presentation, we are hopefully gonna do a live demo demonstrating all of this. So if it's not very clear yet, please just bear with me for a second. So the first endpoint is CalendarAll, and I'm gonna give in a starting time, which is in Unix time, and an ending time. So this basically returns all events and bookings that are in the specified start and end interval, right? And second is inquiry, booking ID, and invoice type. This is gonna return more detailed information about a booking. And this invoice type, you can modify this a little bit, but I don't quite I'm not quite sure about what modifying this would give, but yeah, it's maybe we can explore that later. And second, I'm gonna talk about the post request. So the first thing that we need to do to make a booking is to actually make an inquiry, right? You cannot directly make a booking. You need to make an inquiry first. So when you post something to inquiry, then this will make a booking, an inquiry, and you can turn an inquiry into a booking by sending a post to this endpoint where booking ID is inquiry ID. I'm sorry for the weird naming, but this basically turns an inquiry into a booking. And turn is a post to the calendar endpoint, and this is gonna register an event. An event is like a simpler version of booking, and it's a feature in the Toolkit calendar, so that's why I'm putting it in. And last endpoint is gonna be delete or put, right? These endpoints basically does the same thing, which is delete. But for some reason, there's an endpoint that uses put, right? I'm not exactly sure why, but that's just the way it is. Yeah, when you want to cancel a booking, then you send a request with the booking ID, and it's gonna cancel the booking. And when you want to delete an event, you send a request to delete event ID, and it's gonna delete an event. Exactly what it says it would do. And this is the general overview of how things work. I'm sorry for giving you this barrage of tax, but we're gonna go through this together. And again, if it's not clear, we'll clear things up in the Q&A session or in the live demo, right? So first thing that you would need to do is to get all of the rentals from Token, right? And these rentals, if selected, we're gonna keep the ID. So after we have the selected rental ID, then we would need to select the guests, right? We need to get all of the guests first from token. If it is old guest, then we need keep guest ID. But if it is a new guest that is booking the rental property, then we need to create the guest first by sending a post, and then we keep the new guest ID. Then we need to get the period of booking, the start and end time basically, when the booking starts and when the booking ends. And we need to save information about the booking. And we first need to send this overview information about the booking to slash booking engine. And then we save the results. And this result is going to be used to make an inquiry, and this inquiry is can be turned into a booking, and then the booking is created, right? And to delete a booking, you again send a request to slash booking slash delete. And this is an extra feature, but yesterday I'm not quite sure whether paid or not paid is inside the scope of my project. So I added this and it is done. Basically, you can turn a booking and mark it as paid by sending a post request to slash inquiry slash paid. And this is gonna be the live demo. We're gonna do this in the end of the session if time permits. And yeah, we're gonna finish the presentation first. So what is the general plan for implementing the API? Well, this is gonna be my planned workflow, right? If everything goes well. Today I'm gonna code up all of the features in crucial endpoints that I am gonna promise to deliver, right? And Thursday, if everything goes well, then I'll add some extra endpoints and I'll also improve code quality. And by Friday, hopefully everything is done and I'll test my API from Postman and whatnot, and I'll prepare a presentation. And Saturday, I'm gonna present and I'm gonna make a PR and I'm gonna publish the docs. So yeah, I think that's all for my presentation, and we're gonna open up a Q&A session and hopefully clear any questions that you have. Okay.
Okay, thank you,
So are there
William.
any questions?
Okay. Uh, I don't know what to say actually. Okay, perhaps over to Kabayo. You're mute.
Okay. That's very good, William. That's very good planning. So I think you get most of it pretty accurate, basically. So we know your plan and we know the result of your observation, and that is correct. Actually, I think uh, there's something that we haven't disclosed to you about how a booking works, and you get it pretty accurate. So yes, like in any other system, there's a requirements before we deal with bookings, and calendar. Basically, there will be a guest, there will be an inquiry, there will be some other entities that do we need to create first, and that also the same in Tokit case, and that's also same in our own platform actually. On Bigger. Bigger is our web app platform, and the database structure, the entities also being used on the BVGo app as well. So that is by understanding this, then I'm sure that you can follow uh, our structure pretty easily actually. Um, Let me see. Everything is pretty clear for me. That's very good actually. I don't have any like important question that's unanswered. So that is very good actually, William. I'd like to let you know about that. Mm, Let me see. Let me see. What about you, Nat? Do you have anything to ask?
As for the plan itself, I think it's clear from me for now, but it just I don't really get about the technical stuff. But yeah, I
Mm,
think the plan itself is already good.
okay, okay, that's good. Let me see. Okay, there are something that is out of scope, right? Like the rentals that you say. Uh, how would you plan to get the rental? See, you have
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of the endpoint for that.
I actually made a list of all of the endpoints that I managed to get when I was investigating yesterday,
Mhm.
and rentals is actually in one of them, right? I actually managed to get all of the rentals in a specified in an account,
Mhm.
and right, this returns everything, right? The rental. I have the get, I get the post. I can also create a rental. I can delete a rental. I can get a guest. I can post a guest. I can delete a guest. And yeah, so guest and rental, I already got the endpoints.
Okay, okay. Now the question is, how many endpoint that you will create to be consumed by the Bivigo app?
Mm, right. About the rental and guest, I'm not giving any promises, but I'm gonna code up the core features first, basically, right?
No, no, no.
And
I mean, okay. Remember, we are creating an API that will be consumed by the Vivigo app, right? We are not going to consume Toolkit's API. So here, for example, I can see that you will only need to create three endpoints in the BV Node repository. The first one is get, right? Get calendars. That's just one endpoint. Um, and that should be pretty easy to fetch with all the parameters that required. Maybe we just need to pass the like a property name, for example, and then it will return all of the rentals with the specified property name. That's for example. So for the Bivigo developer, will be consuming just one endpoint to get the rentals for that particular user, for that particular property. And then for the create booking, for example, we just need one endpoint. The Bivigo developer don't need to care about creating inquiry first or a rental first or any other requirements before we create a booking. So, so that is the endpoint that you will create. What is needed to actually create the booking? That should be in your code, right? How you're going to consume the existing endpoints from Toolkit that required to create a booking. Same with the delete endpoint. So um, I'm thinking to have that. Basically, we need only three functionality, so we will have just one endpoint, just different method, right? Maybe just get, post, and put probably. So can Can that be done, William?
Mm, so like there's three main things that you guys want, which is create booking, delete booking, and get booking. Right? You don't
Yep.
want to know about the details, and you just want it created. That's basically right
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So as a developer, we always have a client, right? In this case, that you are a back-end developer, your client is front-end developer, or in this case, the mobile app developer. This developer will will not want to think about the details about the backend. What this front end developer want is that there's one endpoint I need to get to. I need to call to create a new booking, for example. What the technicalities of how that endpoint works is your scope. Basically, this is out of scope from the front end developer, but this is on your scope of back end developer. So that is the workflow of the development, basically. So we are not going to just recode what we have on Tokit's endpoint. Basically, we want to create a flow, utilizing or by consuming the Tokit's API here. So we will create the sequence, creating inquiry, maybe if it's not exists, or if it's exists, what to do, and then creating, changing the status of the inquiry, changing the status of the booking, and what needs to be done, things like that, basically.
Mm, right. So I think to simplify things, do you guys already have a way to make a rental?
No, no,
And
no,
no.
no. Well,
Okay.
okay, okay. Look, to create a rental, we don't need to create a rental. We just create. We want to create a booking, William.
But in order to create a booking, you need to have a rental first, right?
Right, and you can get the list of the rental, right?
Mm,
Okay, rental is our properties. We cannot let the user to create their own rental, right? It's
oh,
fixed. It's fixed number. Okay, let's say something like this. Bukit Vista have 200 properties, right? And when one of the user want to make a booking to one of the property, they just select which property they make want to make a booking.
okay, okay.
So they just select. And so you just call the get rental, and then match with the rental that they want to make the booking for, and use that rental.
Okay, I
Same
think
with the guest mechanism as well.
okay, the rental is clear, and the guest do you guys already have a way to create guest or
Uh, no, no, no.
okay, so guest there needs to be a way to create guest, right?
Yep,
But rental is already handled, but guest is not.
yep.
Okay. And hmm. And there's an important thing actually that needs to
Mhm.
be talked about, which is the get method. There's no way of actually filtering it based on property name. So when you pass start and end, it's gonna return all of the property. And I think in the toolkit calendar itself, the way it is filtered is from the front end. So backend
Mm.
only gives all of the properties that are in the specified dates, and the filtering is done in the front end. Should I make a way to filter it based on property name, or do you just want do you
Yep,
want to
yep.
go?
Yeah, we can see the sample response there, William. Can you open the sample response?
Oh, okay, okay. Wait a second. This is the sample response that
No, we can take a look at the Postman.
this is not the testing account actually. This is a token account that I made. So it's only one rental, right? But
Mhm.
from the account that Kak Nadia gave me, there
Okay.
are many rentals, right? So this is basically what it returns, like
Okay.
a
So
full
what
list.
is there? What can you copy just one item, one object, the first from the array, let's say, and then let's put that into a JSON formatter so we can see it easier. Can you select this
Oh,
one? Yeah, just copy and paste. The select the first object maybe. Okay, and you can just Google JSON formatter or something like that.
Kak, please correct me
Hmm?
if I'm wrong, but property owner cannot create a booking, but
Yeah, we will.
an
That's why
event.
we are creating this function.
The event or the booking?
The event, yeah, the booking. William, can you just install the Chrome extension, JSON formatter Chrome extension? It will be easier.
right. This is the formatted.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Nadia, that's why we are creating this. We want to uh, create a booking and mark it as an owner booking. So we can count. We can basically we can make apa namanya a quota. They cannot book more than 50 days or 60 days. Okay, let's have a look. So the information here, there's a rental ID, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so if all the response of all properties from Tokit includes rental ID, it means that we need to match that. For example, if the endpoint that we create took a parameter of like property ID, for example, then we need to map that property ID with rental ID. Property ID looks like just a random number as well, but we need to know uh, which rental belong to which property ID, basically. So if that's the case, what you're going to do is that on the endpoint that you create, you take the parameter property ID, you get the all of the rental ID from the database
Mhm.
of that property, and then you will filter this array that you get from Tokid only to include the rental ID that's mapped into that property ID.
So you wanna get all of the current rentals of said property. That's what.
Yep, yep. Because one property probably have more than one rental.
There's actually already a way for you to do that, which is
Hmm?
by get rentals, right? When you get rental,
Hmm?
then it gives you wait.
Rental name.
Um, Wait a second.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I get the idea. You want to get all of the rentals in a set property, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I think it can be done.
Mm.
Um,
Okay, so there are multiple ways to do this. Either you use the rentals endpoint to get all of the rental for the property that the user want to get, and then making a call again to get all of the calendar event, and then filtering out before returning as a response to the user. Or you can create a new table in the database that contains all of the rentals with that property. But that database that need to be maintained, and we're not sure how to update that. So I think your approach, if you're going to fetch all of the rentals first, I think that would be much safer if there's any changes or addition to the rentals. The problem is that we need to make sure your search queries on the rentals, according to, let's say, property name, it should be exact match, basically. If, let's say, someone searching for like Villa Aura, for example, right? And then if we want to create a booking for property called Villa Aura, it means the rental name also need to consist of the text, yeah, contains the exact text Villa Aura. Do you get what I mean?
Mm, um, are we talking about creating a booking here?
Yeah. Creating a booking. Uh, and I
Right.
think
So,
getting the booking and canceling booking is pretty easy. So the issue here is creating a booking.
I'll just try to do it manually in Toolkit first, and we'll see it is if I understood what you want correctly, right?
Mhm.
Because so you want someone to be able to select a date like this
Yep,
and add a booking to it,
yep. I think there's
right?
just one endpoint to create that, right? Yeah, you
Right.
can create a booking. Yeah, you can
Uh,
create a book.
Wait Kak, tapi property owner tuh cannot create a booking but hold a event.
Yeah,
Event
exactly.
is
Yeah, Nadia. I know your concern. Yes, yes, but we will change that.
Ah, okay.
Okay, we are creating a system basically. So,
oh,
William, okay, let's try that. Let's go to Talkit, and then let's see the network, and then create a booking.
do you want me to just create a booking manually
Yeah?
from the API?
No, no, no.
Just live
Just
demo?
right. Yeah. Let's have a look at how it work in the web app first.
Okay.
Can we see the network?
You want to add booking or event?
Booking. But let's see the network, William. So we know which exactly which endpoint that we need to use. Okay, let's record that and try to send. Okay, so no, we use new guest. No, we don't
Oh,
select.
new guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you can close that first. No, you can close this.
And right, the booking is created.
Okay, and then let's have a look at the network, which endpoint that's being used there.
First, right, you make an inquiry.
Uh, okay, can we filter based on the only XHR, French or XHR? No. Yeah, the this filter. We are showing all traffic, right? No. Can you go up and then there's a filter there? Filter the network. Filter the network. William.
This. Yeah. Hello.
Okay, we lost you.
Hello.
Yep. Hmm.
Um,
Cuman William kan
Sorry
yang
Kak, my
bilang?
network is lagging.
Yep,
Ya,
William is a bit lagging.
Hello, Kak, can you hear me?
a little
E-
bit, but I think it's delayed.
Okay, okay, sorry. What about now?
Nope, still the same.
Mm,
Okay, let's have a look at the network and see if there's an endpoint that's called create booking or something like that. Just one endpoint to simplify everything.
um, there actually in Tokit itself, there's no endpoint create booking.
Okay, then how does this booking inserted?
You make an inquiry and you turn the inquiry into a booking. Wait.
Okay, okay, so that's it then. That's what we need to do, right? So
Yeah.
as the end user, what you just did, that's exactly what the user will do. They will just insert the name, insert the phone number, the number of guests, the value, and that's it. And then
Okay.
your
Okay.
endpoint will process that and make it into a booking.
Okay. Okay. I think I get what you mean. Now, do you want some sort of filtering to be able to be done?
Filter for what?
Like, for example, here, Ryan, you can filter things.
What is the purpose?
I don't know, just to simulate toolkit. Like, so
No, 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 no. We can just focus on the main functionality. Can we create a booking now?
yes,
Okay. Uh, how do you select which rentals to make the booking?
you send the rental ID that you wanna book.
Okay. How do we get the rental ID to send to the token?
Right. Guess actually, you need to make a get request through rental first, right? And it's gonna return all of your property, and then when a user selects something, you just pass the primary key.
Okay. Okay. So your endpoint, the create booking endpoint, will have a parameter called rental ID. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay then. That could be done. Uh, yep, I think that could be done. We just need another endpoint to fetch all of the rental ID
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
based on the name, right?
So you need to fetch rentals first, and then you need to fetch guests, and then if your guest is new, then you send something like a signal so my backend knows that the guest is new. But if the guest is has already visited, then you send the guest ID.
No, we will skip the guest part. We will just create new guests for simplicity.
Um, there cannot be duplicate guests actually. If the guest already exists, then Toolkit won't allow us to create a new.
Okay. Okay. So how do we do that? How do we make sure unique guest?
Mm, how do we make? Sure? It's- Hmm.
Okay, William, let's simplify things. Let's add to your outer scope. There will be no duplicate guests. Every guest is new, so that will make it
Okay,
easier.
okay, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Rental ID is done, guest is
Mhm.
done, and I think when you have both of them, then creating a booking should be no problem.
Okay. Okay, sure. Okay, so this is what I will expect from you then. We will have four endpoints now. Yeah. So the one endpoint is the booking. Basically, there's a get and create and also delete. And then one more endpoint is to fetch the rental according to their property name.
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay. So so you know how to do that, yeah. We will fetch all rentals, and then you will filter them based on the parameter that we send to your endpoint, and then you will filter the data you get from Tokit, and then the filtered data will be returned to the user, to your endpoint's user.
Okay, okay. I think that can be done.
Okay, okay, sounds good
Um,
then.
One more thing. Do you guys want an event to be hosted as well? Because in Token, you can add booking or add event.
No, this is okay. You can do that, but this is basically trying to prove a concept. Basically,
Oh,
if we can be successful with that booking, then it would be we will continue and we will put that into a real project.
okay, okay, okay. Okay, I
Okay.
think I get what the general purpose of this project would be. And
Okay.
I think I can accomplish it. If everything goes well, of course.
That's good. That's good. That's it for me. I think I'm going to see your MVP by Friday. Then, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What's an MVP again? Sorry.
Minimum viable product.
Oh,
So you
like
will, yeah, you will show me if your code is actually working or not. It's not fully working, but
so a day before presentation. A day before presentation, right?
yes, yes, just to make sure that you make any progress and that your code actually works with basic things like authentication, routing, the request type, those kind of thing, and we will see the result on your key result presentation.
The MVP thing is it in the calendar yet, or will we make an event?
No, you just send it to me if you have created the endpoint, you test it on your local, you make a screenshot that you
Okay.
have been successful. You just tell me on Slack probably or on your Trello card. So you just tell everyone that hey, I'm successful to create the routes, but there's no response yet or things like that. Basically, it's your update.
Okay. Okay. I tried. Actually, I something in VS Code already, and it seems to be working well. But then again, I'll return to you with the MVP by Friday.
Okay, sure, sure. What else? Nadia, is there anything else? Or from William, is there anything else that we should talk about from this strategy? No? Oh, good? Okay, then.
Yep, all
Hey,
good.
one more thing, Kak.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
about the authentication and the token. Should we cache it or just let it? It's just prototype, as you say.
I'm not sure. How does that work right now?
Okay, okay. I'll give you an overview. So, can you see my VS Code?
Yep.
Wait, I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in. Right. So first thing that we need to do is to send a password and username, and it's
Mhm,
gonna return us a token, right? And this token is gonna be required for every endpoint basically.
mhm.
So I think it would be inefficient if we authorize every request by sending username and password. I think this session token needs to be saved somewhere, right?
And this is not done already. Yeah? Or do we have any Toolkit endpoint on this repository?
Um, yeah, you have. Actually, this is utilizing a pre-made function, but then the
Oh,
token
I see.
itself, it's it. There's no way of actually caching it right now, right? Should we
Oh, okay.
cache it in client side or in the server, or should we worry about this later?
No, I think we can cache it on the server because we are going to use this multiple time and use the same user from BB Node.
So I'll implement server side caching.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. The
Okay.
user. Okay. So the user of your endpoint, they don't need to care about this token, this token. Only you, only your app, your code that will need this token.
Um. Okay, but then if I save it in the server, there at each request I need to know which user is making the request, right? And what's an extra parameter that's gonna identify the user? Are
Oh
they
no,
gonna
everyone will use the same token. Basically, basically we will use everything from BV node. BV node is the user basically, right? BV node is the user, and everyone using BV node to access Toolkit will use the same user.
I think you cannot do that actually. When you have a this session token is like a login, right? If
Yeah.
everyone is using the same session, then everyone's property will be the same and everyone's booking will be the same. Is that the goal?
No, because we use parameter, right?
What kind of parameter?
Like the property, for example, this user that we are going to use here, Toolkit username will have access to all property.
Oh, so this is like an
Yep.
admin thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so basically, this is like aggregation. Basically, every user can use this to update their own property. Uh, as long as they have access to that property, we will manage that from the client from Divi Node.
Okay, okay. I think, but I'm just trying to confirm. Your main purpose of this project is to actually see whether you can create the lead and get booking, right? That's the
Yep,
main goal, my main objective, and everything else is secondary, and we
yep,
can
yep,
work on that later. Okay,
yep.
okay, okay. I think it's pretty clear for me.
Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. Um, that's it then. If there's no question, Nadia, I think we need a follow up. This is outside of this trial. Basically, we need a continuation on the design of the calendar on BPGo, and also the user journey basically for each of the property owner, how they will see the calendar and how they will create the property. So if this trial is finished and we have proof that we can do this, then we can develop into production.
Okay.
Do we have that, Nadia, or we need to still create that?
I think we still need to redo it again, sih, Kak. Because there's some changing flows. So,
Okay, okay, sure.
okay. So that's
Yeah.
it for today. So thank you, William, and also thank you, Kabayu, for coming. I will close the recording.